What's up, everybody? My name is Godzi, and welcome back to some more Umineko When They Cry questions arc. Last episode, we continued with Chapter 3, and learned quite a bit about Beatrice as a human's past, and Rosa's involvement with Beatrice. And that's sort of it. Not a lot happened in it. All we learned is, yeah, there's no 19th person because the 19th person that did exist died. So that's fun. Regardless, let's just get back into this. And then you changed into, well, maybe we should get a little bit of context. Okay, so this is just backward guessing what happened after, okay. And then you changed into golden butterflies, hid in the forest, and waited for your magical power to be restored? Is that what you're saying? That is correct. I take this form to sneer at you, but most of the time it is easier magically for me to keep my form as gold butterflies. Hey, feel free to take a load off and stick to whatever's easiest. I wouldn't mind not having to hear your irritating laugh. When I turned into butterflies and slipped into the forest, it was already no longer possible for Kinzo to find me. However, Kinzo was not dismayed. Still, he was not immediately able to prepare a way to catch me. So, he first moved to prevent me from leaving this island, and to keep me from regaining my power. My, at any rate, Kinzo's spitefulness was unimaginable. It was pretty tough to be loved by someone like that. He found a way to keep you from leaving after you turned into butterflies? What, did he put a bug net around the entire forest? Indeed, a magical one. Didn't you know? On the sea in front of the harbor is a reef, upon which sits a small shrine of Eastern magic. That's weird. Ah, that. It was gone by this year, though. It was a small shrine built long ago by a Shugenja, right? From the very beginning, Rokkanjima has been an island enveloped by a distortion. It attracts things of magical power and other related creatures. Milady herself is one of them. How about some more tea? Please. They brought harm to humans and probably left several eerie legends in their wake. That small shrine was built in ancient times by an Eastern magician who heard of them. A long time passed, and that power was lost. By repairing it, Kinzo restored this island's barrier, and once again bound me to the island. Can Eastern magic work on a Western witch like you? Normally, the affinity would be poor. However, for the purpose of sealing me here, it may have been quite convenient in a way. If it was Western magic, I would have had some knowledge. For any barrier, there would have been some measures I could have taken, but Eastern magic is outside my area of expertise. It was as if I had been given chopsticks instead of a spoon for some soup that I wanted to drink. Just pick up the bowl and slurp it then. In a space dominated by Eastern magic, Western magic loses much of its power. Even if she were given 1,000 days to regain her strength, she would have to wait many, many more. So you're saying it took you 20 years to regain your power, and now you've revived, as we can all see. Those were horribly long years. I spent many days in the form of gold butterflies, found Kinzo's mansion, and watched over him every day. I lived through those days with no means to enjoy myself except to ponder how I would get back at him. You kill him. That period of 20 years was fortunate for me. Kinzo tried to use all sorts of magic to find and capture me, but each failed. There's a limit to how many miracles a single human can bring about. Even simply holding me captive for that long had been a miracle far above his place. It would be unthinkable for me to be captured like that multiple times. So Kinzo, in terms of magic, is stupid powerful. Got it. Grandfather said something in the previous game. It was something like, magic lies in a miracle of probability. Indeed, as Kinzo was searching for a hidden art to capture me again, he stumbled upon that. Then he finally worked out the ceremony involving the offering of 13 people as sacrifices to revive me again. 13 people as sacrifices. That is the witch's epitaph, a song of sacrifices. 6 people on the first twilight, 2 people on the second, and then 5 more people on the 4th through 8th twilights. A forbidden ceremony, involving the offering of a total of 13 people as sacrifices. Those sacrifices were to be chosen randomly, and the one who held the ceremony, Kinzo himself, was no exception. Dumbass. Are you saying that all the gruesome murders on this island were a weird ceremony? So, isn't it possible, then, if it's actually all random, for the second Twilight to be something that cannot happen given the rules? Because it says 2 people need to be close in order for that to happen. And as far as we know, that can only be lovers, as the only people who died on the second Twilight, in the first game it was Eva and Hideyoshi, and in the second it was Jessica and Cannon. But we don't know if it could be something like mother and son, or father-daughter, or father any of their children, or something like that. If that's the case, it would probably be possible for the second Twilight to happen regardless of who died. But if, say, the first Twilight happens, and it just happens to be, like, I don't know, all 4 of the siblings, and then, like, George and Cannon, would that make it impossible, then? Because then there would be really no one who has a relationship like that, right? Possibly. I mean, Kyrie and Bat were mother, son, whatever, but Kyrie's not even Batware's mom to begin with, so, yeah. And Nazi Jessica, I forgot. That actually... Yeah, I think it is actually impossible for that to happen. Huh. I guess given the rules of it can be a parent and their child, the second Twilight can still go through. It doesn't necessarily have to be something like husband and wife, or just a random pair of lovers, or something like that. I don't know. Maybe we'll figure out eventually if it can be like mother, daughter, father, son, any combination like that. Dumbass. Are you saying that all the gruesome murders on this island were a weird ceremony? I'd had a vague idea that this might be the case, but I couldn't just hear that it was a true form, a witch and a demon. Wait. But I couldn't just hear that it was true from a witch and a demon and say, oh really, and accept it. There are 18 people on Rokanjima. 13 are offered as sacrifices, 5 are left alive. Then I revive. In other words, the odds that Kinzo will be able to meet me again are probably around 1 in 3. He bets his own life on those odds, wishing for a reunion with me for the last bit of his remaining life. You're saying he gathered our family for the sake of that joke of a ceremony? Don't fuck with me. Don't say stuff like that, damn it. It was all set out in our contract from the beginning. When Kinzo's life ended, all the gold I lent him and all of the assets he created would be given to me. Yes, Kinzo did stab me in the back quite brutally, but looking back now, it was a rare and precious time during my 1,000 years of life. After all, boredom is my natural enemy. To Kinzo, who offered me a chance to run away from that for several decades, yes, you could say I owe him for that. I decided to go along with Kinzo's game, so to start, Kinzo returns the Ushiromiyas family head's ring to me. It was my gold that revived the family after all. Then 13 people are chosen at random to be sacrifices. While that happens, you all run about, showing me all kinds of human interactions as you try to oppose me, and entertaining me greatly. Yes, I truly have taken a liking to this game of Kinzo's. So is the third game actually gonna start with the murders yet? The deaths? Whatever you want to call them? I definitely won't believe in that kind of magic story. Then, who are you? You fell off a cliff and died, right? Your soul slipped out, became butterflies, and went to the forest? That isn't possible. But you're here. Who are you? Aren't you the 19th person? That is true. I am the 19th person. But it's useless, right? Hey, that's my line. It's all useless. Stop. That's on purpose. She's using the red to reject the 19th person. Yep. There are no more than 18 humans on this Rokanjima. Okay. So then that sorta destroys my theory that any of the people here have a identical twin who's carrying out the murders. Well, shit. What did you say? So you're saying that the X in the 18 plus X doesn't exist? Are you saying the piece I took, the X, doesn't exist? That is what this means. My condolences. Still, you do move fast, milady, and I thought you'd let him flounder about before spinning everything around at the end. Well then, Battler, would some more tea be agreeable? I don't need it, damn it. I don't believe it. The culprit can't be one of the 18. Then what are you, and why are you here? If the 19th person doesn't exist, then are you saying you're one of the 18 in disguise? Perhaps you are castling. Though reluctantly, you are doubting one of the 18 people as your last way out. However, it will be difficult for me from here on out. If you choose to stop caring about propriety, you can prepare a culprit freely amid 18 people, making you reach checkmate. Thing is, Battler could do any amount of bullshitting to win Beatrice's game. So really just him not wanting to doubt the 18 can be considered a handicap for him, because no matter what, like, I could bullshit right now and say that any of the 18 could be the culprit for any of the games, really. Because for the first one, I can just pick someone at random who survived until the very end. Like, say, Jessica. Let's just throw Jessica out there. And be like, okay, so, how could she have killed everyone in the first game? Well, say maybe she had, I don't fucking know, maybe she had Goda and Shannon as accomplices. Hey, let's say that. And with their help, she managed to kill Rosa, Rudolph, Kyrie, and Kraus. And then she and Goda were actually working together, and they betrayed Shannon. And then Jessica betrayed Goda because there's multiple layers of betrayal there. And then, because she's not old as shit, she was able to kill Eva and Hideyoshi when they weren't looking or whatever. Or maybe someone else, like Genji was also an accomplice and he killed them. And maybe Cannon was also an accomplice. Who knows? There could be a million accomplices. Maybe these two were also accomplices and she got them killed. Who knows? And then she could also, blah blah blah, Kinzo. Kinzo was, I don't fucking know, dead from the beginning, we'll say. And then, Cannon faked his own death, but Nanjo is also an accomplice, and Nanjo and Jessica, who were looking after Cannon, killed Cannon there instead. And then, Maria and Genji were accomplices, and Nanjo was there too, and Nanjo killed Kumasawa, and then Genji and Nanjo killed each other. And then Natsuhi was an accomplice and she shot herself, and then explode go the bomb, boom, everyone's dead. GG no re. You can just bullshit like that. Of course you can deny it with the red truth, but given no red truth, that's just, there's a number of things Battler could do. Battler could bullshit and say, I was the culprit all along, I don't want to doubt one of the 18, but I'm one of the 18, so if I just put all the blame on myself, hey, look at that, Hurga-durga. Who knows? Making you reach checkmate by evading those 18 pieces will be truly difficult. As if I'd do that? I won't suspect any of the 18. I don't want to suspect people. Have I really been cornered here again? Damn it, damn it, damn it! It looks like we're finally approaching the end in the third round of this game of ours. You've nowhere to run anymore, right? You don't want to suspect any of those beloved people in the 18, do you? Were you trying to hide that from me? Then why do you refuse me? They say you should play the opening like the say you should play the opening like a book, the middle game like a magician, and the end game like a machine. I'll corner you from here on. Slowly, carefully, surely. Or on the other hand, would it be better if I pressed you all at once, which might suit your style more? Yes, that should fit you well. Let's do that. Oh, she's gonna throw something else out there that's really gonna fuck with him. I'm now fully aware of the sorts of attacks you're weakest against. She's not throwing out another red truth then. Okay, I thought she was going to. Christ, it was sunny 20 minutes ago. Like, seriously, it was sunny when I started recording. It's pitch black outside. And I guess it is in the game, too. Lovely. So now they're going actually back to the actual game. Hooray. Okay. Batware and Jessica. Oh, they're doing the, like, midnight thing where everyone is. Okay, Cannon's in the servant room. So was Genji. Batware and Jessica were in, I'm guessing, the cousin's guest room. Since that seems to be where everyone is. Oh, George and Shannon, they're at the place for the proposal. Okay. That's outside the main mansion. Okay, the clock tolled. Is that everyone who's actually awake? Are there... Okay, I guess everyone else is asleep then? Because I know they don't include the sleeping people in that little recap thing. So only 6 people were actually awake? That's a short Oh no, Kraus is still awake. Okay. Yeah, Kraus, Rudolph, they're all in the dining room. Kyrie, Eva, Natsuhi, Hideyoshi, and Rosa. Okay, so those 7 are still awake. But one of them's probably gonna die as usual. Goda. The parents can never survive the first Twilight. That just never happens. Kinzo. I'm actually a little excited to see who actually dies, because, as I said in the second game, I forget everything that happens after the first Twilight of the second game, so anyone could die here. I don't know. I don't know who would die here, actually. At the very least, I don't think Maria dies on the first Twilight, or Batware. Achievement unlocked, 0 o'clock. Something I figured out, actually, is you guys cannot see any of my Steam notifications, like my achievements or anything. Fuck, the clock's already huge. Midnight. So, who will be dead in the morning? I'm gonna put my money on... Well, it could be any random combination of people, so let's just say... Hergadurga, George, Cannon, Goda, Kumasawa... Yeah, George, Cannon, Goda, Kumasawa, Natsuhi, and Hideyoshi. There we go. Well then, how will this game be resolved? You may submit or you may resist. Either way, it will truly be an entertaining banquet worth betting my short remaining life on. In his dimly lit study, occasionally brightened by lightning, Kinzo kept mumbling and laughing to himself. On the antique clock with the intricate design that had been sitting on his desk, the 2 overlapping hands tilted to the right and began to slide. The measure of time that counted up to 24 had returned to 0 and had begun to count back again. Measuring time is a brutal thing. And my dog's barking. Lovely. It drags itself all the way to 24 over the course of the day, and then returns back to 0. It certainly did count to 2359. However, is it ever able to reach 2400? If you conclude that it returns to 0 again without reaching 24, how futile it must all be. Sympathize with the clock. Lovely. But perhaps a person's life is the same. You live, aiming for a perfect 24, and the instant you reach it, you return to 0. People will probably praise the departed, saying that he did reach 24, but he most certainly did not. In the end, he's a 0. I am different. I will live and reach 24. That itself is the Golden Land, for that is where Beatrice dwells. Kinzo had been fumbling around with some tarot cards for some time. It looked as though he was trying to divine his own luck with a contest, doing it over every time he didn't like the result. The most forbidden action in tarot reading is trying to predict the same thing twice. To do so ridicules the results of fortune telling, and also desecrates those beings higher than humans that give revelations through the tarot cards. However, Kinzo knew. Tarot cards shouldn't be used twice because, since they're nothing more than a random number generator, reading them twice will naturally cause a different result to appear. Therefore, reading them twice was only forbidden to preserve the mystique of the tarot card's results. However, that didn't mean that Kinzo didn't take tarot reading seriously. Kinzo's interpretation of tarot reading was done in a completely different way. That was to repeat the reading over and over, without giving up in the slightest until he reached the result most favorable to him. The mark he set for this most favorable result would vary, but when he demanded the most favorable result in a strictly literal sense, it was the same as a simple roulette of luck, where he seeked an arithmetic miracle. However, Kinzo used miracles of numbers as the basis of his magical power, so this functioned perfectly well as a magical ritual. In other words, until the result he desired appeared perfectly, he would strive to repeat the tarot readings over and over, with conviction, turning the feelings of his heart into prayers, so that when they reached the heavens, they would be subliminated into results. This was Kinzo's personal magical interpretation. Therefore, even though Kinzo's tarot cards were no different from those generally used, the way in which they were used was completely different. Tonight will not go as I thought. Kinzo stopped his hands for a second. He seemed not to be getting the results he wanted. Is this a death flag? On the contrary, bad cards that shouldn't show up so often appeared repeatedly, and continued to interfere with the miracle Kinzo wished for. Humph. Is that how it is? Kinzo seemed to have received some revelation that was different from normal. But judging by the unlucky cards scattered across his desk, it was difficult to imagine that the omen had been a good one. For a while, Kinzo closed his eyes tightly, pondering something. Then as the thunder roared, he made up his mind about something, took the telephone receiver, and dialed. It is I. Is Genji there? An urgent matter has come up. I feel like that's a death flag for Kinzo. I mean, narratively speaking, it makes sense for Kinzo to eventually be dead on the first Twilight, you know? In front of the entrance hall, Shannon's once burning face had been cooled off by the frigid air. She had thought that George's proposal would surely come sooner or later. It wasn't as though she hadn't prepared herself mentally, as she had answered by nodding. Had she been reckless because of her youth? Could she have thought about her future more seriously? I wonder if my immediate reply made him think I'm a cheap girl. If I'd at least waited until tomorrow morning, would that at least have shown him I was taking this seriously? Now that she'd already received the ring from George, Shannon kept fidgeting in embarrassment. I should have done this, I should have done that. As she did, she heard the sound of footsteps splashing through puddles. Shannon immediately chased away the emotions welling up inside her.
Genji? And Cannon, too. I'm sorry, I have to go back soon.
She grew stiff, thinking she'd surely be scolded for spending too much time in her secret lovers' meeting with George. Shannon, the master told us to come to the study, saying it was urgent. Let us hurry.
Huh? Yes, certainly. What in the world?
He said he had a premonition of misfortune. How convenient for him, considering he's the one who started the ceremony. We will enter from the back, so that Goda doesn't notice us. Hide your footsteps. Yes. Sister, take care. You're so noisy. Okay. Cannon was especially good at hiding his footsteps, just like a cat. He was able to suddenly be there without anyone noticing and leave in the same way. For example, even though he stepped in puddles, the sound he made was far smaller than that of the rain hitting them. Genji also had abilities of that kind, or rather, those servants called furniture was supposed to be like that. Just like how desks and closets go unnoticed by members of the family. These servants also held it as a great virtue to just suddenly be there whenever they were needed. Compared to that, Shannon's footsteps still strongly asserted themselves. She was also trying to hide her footsteps, but compared to Kanon and Genji, well, you could say she was a little more boisterous. Eventually, they reached the back door, and the three of them entered the mansion. Immediately, they thought they felt something. It was different from a sense of smell, and it seemed to hit the depths of their noses. This hard-to-describe sensation, which you might call a sixth sense, allowed them to perceive that something was different from usual. Oh boy, hi, what's wrong, Kanon?
Genji.
Indeed, let us hurry. Are they already dead at nighttime? That sensation made it feel as though a tense something was pressing in around them. Realizing that, the three of them dashed up the stairs, heading for Kinzo's study while still hiding their footsteps. When they dashed up the stairs, that smell of sweet poison, particular to Kinzo's study, reached their noses.
What is it, Genji?
The barrier is dead.
Huh?
Barrier? Oh. Something to do with the doorknobs? After hearing Kanon's words, she looked at the door to the study. A scorpion pattern was engraved on the doorknob. No, it's still there. A powerful ward against magic. The final barrier which protected Kinzo himself. It had been broken. Of course, there was no change to the doorknob that the eye could see. However, those who could understand things people couldn't perceive were able to recognize that a dramatic change had occurred. What the fuck? Master. Master! It is Genji. Please open the door. Genji called in this way after knocking several times, but there was no answer from the study. Shannon, guard our backs. Kanon, search inside the room. Yes, from both of them, I guess. Kanon put his ear against the door, searching for a presence inside the study. To protect the backs of the pair watching the door, Shannon faced the other way, ready for the unexpected. The master must be in here, but it's too quiet. Do you mean to say he's safe? No. It's too quiet.
Could it possibly be?
Master, excuse us about the door. Genji pulled a gold key out of his pocket. It was the only key to the study that existed other than the one Kinzo held. He stuck it in the keyhole and turned it heavily. At first glance, that seemed to prove that it was a sturdy lock. However, now that the barrier had been destroyed, this door might as well have been left open from the viewpoint of anyone with magical power. The heavy sound just now meant that the door had now been opened even for humans. Excuse me. That's strange. As Genji respectfully bowed his head, and Kanon's sense of tension grew tighter, and Shannon trembled, they entered the study. Oh, I'm fine. You guys are just little babies. They immediately discovered Kinzo's figure. He was sitting on a reception sofa so that his back faced them. Genji noticed the person sitting across from him, and again bowed deeply. Kanon also noticed that person, but he didn't bow his head. He stood in front of Shannon and spread out his arms, blocking the way to her. So without even seeing that person's face, Shannon already had a good idea who it was. So, you have come. Beatrice? Ah, okay.
Genji, is it? You came very quickly. Yes, it is always best when furniture answers to their master's call quickly. Unlike this person.
So, Ronove has come as well. Genji directed his greeting towards the thin darkness behind and to the right of Beatrice, where there shouldn't have been anything. Oh, he knows Ronove? Okay. Even Kanon and Shannon would never have imagined that someone was there. However, the darkness responded immediately and praised Genji's eyesight. As usual, you don't disappoint. It has been quite some time. Still, you've grown old, haven't you? Have so many years truly passed you by? My days have been full and satisfying. It appears you have been living quite a full life yourself, Ronove. Yes, thank you. And Shannon, it has been a long time since I last saw you as well. You have grown quite beautiful, and it seems that you have grown quite strong. That is fortunate.
Thank you very much.
Sister, who in the world? This will be our first meeting, Kanon. I, Ronove, have been entrusted with the position of Beatrice's head furniture. I am an old friend of Genji's, and I am also furniture, just like you. Although the master I serve is different. The tense color didn't disappear from Kanon's face in the slightest. Depending on the master furniture served, they might be kind or brutal or anything else. If this person claimed to be furniture serving the hated Beatrice, then he must be despicable as well. You're not wrong. It seems I'm thoroughly despised. It's as though you hate everything that has anything to do with me. Beatrice openly sneered at Kanon's hate-filled face. Then Kanon finally realized. Beatrice and Kinzo were having a chess game across the reception table, but Kinzo hadn't even quivered. He was holding his head with both hands, his eyes closed tight, as he contemplated his next move. Or was he in anguish? Master, I have told Kinzo 2 things. There was good news and bad news. The good news is that he'll have the good fortune of being reunited with me before the ceremony ends. The bad news is that Kinzo has been selected as the very first sacrifice in the ceremony. Ah, that'll do it. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it, because it truly was decided by the fickle roulette. Liar. We know you're just a murderer who kills for fun. Stop it, Kanon. So, Kinzo, isn't it about time you decided to accept your loss? With this, our long contest is at an end, yes? At a glance, it was hard to make out the situation on that chaotic chessboard. However, judging by Kinzo's anguish and Beatrice's malicious confidence, it seemed to be over already. It is unavoidable. Perhaps even this could be amusing. It is to me too. Resolving my contest with you may bring a flood of emotions, but it has already surpassed love and hate. It was fun. These past few decades certainly weren't boring. Beatrice advanced her queen and made her final move, and that decided it. Checkmate. This is my final tribute to you. Without any reservations, sleep. Kinzo suddenly stood up and laughed, like an opera singer facing a full crowd and spreading his arms, as though he had succeeded in a century-long plan. Oh fuck! That laugh spat crimson. Crimson flames poured out from inside him, spitting even out of his mouth, ears, and nose, and all at once his body was wrapped in hellfire. But Kinzo kept laughing. The more he laughed, the more the hellfire spewed from his entire body and began to char him. Calm the fuck down! Those flames became a brilliant light, which dazzlingly shone on the various magic tools throughout the room, making their distorted shadows dance across the walls. Those shadows looked like the dead in hell, watching over Kinzo in ecstasy as he burned. And for one who had made a contract with the witch, it was an extremely fitting end in accordance with those terms. Isn't that the same way he died in the first game? Like, he was burned, but he was also pierced in the head? I don't know. After laughing and howling in the roaring flames for some time, Kinzo flopped to the ground as though he was a puppet whose strings had been cut. Those incredible blazing flames disappeared as though he'd been completely burned up, and afterwards nothing remained but a festering and burnt corpse that one could hardly bear to look at. Well, Kinzo's dead. Horrible. Humph. You should talk, as if you didn't think that was a fitting way for him to die. Why have you shown yourself? Do you have some business with us? Stop it, Kanon. You mustn't provoke Beatrice. It would seem you have them absolutely terrified. Pooh. I imagine I'll never get along with Kanon. Hey, it's not as though I dislike you particularly. Beatrice grinned. Kanon violently averted his gaze, obviously unhappy. His reaction was so different from what he wanted to do that it made the witch and her butler laugh. Kanon, you stand in the presence of Beatrice. Carefully consider your manner of speech. Oh, I care not, Genji. Let him say what he pleases. I am gracious. How are you gracious? I am always gracious to those who are about to die. Oh, fuck. Canon was taken aback by that creepy laughter. Beatrice wasn't here just to take Kinzo's life. The first Twilight required 6 sacrifices. Are all of them dead, then? Kinzo alone wasn't nearly enough, and they just casually walked in here. Fear not, Canon. It isn't as though you'll be selected as sacrifices just because you came here. After all, you were called here because you'd been selected already. Ah, shit. So Genji, Shannon, and Canon are gonna die too. What? Their instincts were good enough to spot her meaning instantly. 6 sacrifices were required for the first Twilight. After Kinzo, how many more would you need to add up to 6? 5. In this mansion, the number 5 instantly made them think of the number of servants here. Were all 5 servants just coincidentally chosen then? That makes not a single fucking lick of sense. Like, that same dumb coincidence. They're randomly selected. Yeah, bullshit. In the first game, all of those people were within the general vicinity of each other. Rosa, Kraus, Rudolph, and Kyrie. They were all in the dining hall. Goda was in the kitchen nearby, and Shannon was wandering around in the fucking hallways. They were all near each other. They would all be easy targets within those 6 were the closest to each other of everyone. Christ. And then, the second game, it's just, coincidence, it just happens to be Eva and Hideyoshi, Rudolph and Kyrie, Kraus and Natsuhi. You know, the 3 married couples who actually exist here. That does not make any sense. So what, this one's just the 5 servants and Kinzo? That's also a pretty shitty coincidence, huh? You know? Christ, it's definitely not random selection. This basically proves it. Is that what you desire? Indeed. Thank me, furniture. Tonight your days of suffering will finally end. You ought to thank me for coming here to tell you this. Certainly, if that is your desire. Genji! Genji had agreed to the witch's heartless announcement with his usual demeanor, without raising an eyebrow. Now that the master is dead, Beatrice is our master. Responding to her demand shall be our final duty. Shannon, Canon, you have done well serving until today. That hard work is now over. As I expected of you, Genji, as your fellow furniture, I'm proud to have known you. Shannon, do you have any objections? No. I heard that George gave you a ring. Do you still say that you have no regrets? Yes. That blessing was more than furniture deserves. Just receiving the ring has already satisfied my feelings. Shannon couldn't take quite as much of a philosophical view as Genji. There probably were regrets left in her heart. She probably wanted to spend a little more warm time with the person she cared for, George. But she released herself from that. She took a single deep breath, and a blank expression rose to her face. Very well. It does surprise me a tad to find that you've gained such composure, Shannon. It seems you two have taken a philosophical view as furniture. Won't you at least shed some bitter tears for not being able to spend a night with the man you love? What a boring woman. This feeling cannot be understood by the likes of you, Beatrice. If you desire our lives, please accept them. We will solemnly carry out that duty. Very well. Excellently put. Just the type of person Beatrice can't handle. She's been taking such a far-sighted view of things lately. I must have tormented her too much last time. Speaking of which, didn't I do the same to Battler? Am I still soft? Or is the way I corner them lacking? In any case, she's just no fun. However, it seems you will still entertain me, right? Canon! Canon. Compared to the two who had taken a far-sighted approach, there was a painful anguish on Canon's face. Canon was still far too young to accept this demise after being told of it by a suddenly appearing witch. Canon, I hate boredom more than anything, and the fact that the other two have obediently accepted their deaths isn't amusing at all, so I hope you don't betray my expectations. Are you trying to make me your plaything? A child's plaything! Canon realized that he was being provoked. However, no matter how furiously anger spurred him on, his opponent was a witch. He was furniture. He hadn't a chance of victory from the beginning. But the witch was expecting that he'd struggle in vain and writhe around, and was even looking forward to it. Just thinking about that was frustrating enough to get his blood boiling. Was disappointing the witch by refusing to resist, like the other two, the only way he could strike back at her? Eldest of the 7 Sisters of Purgatory, Lucifer, arise. They don't die from stakes here, though. Or at least they're not supposed to. Lucifer of Pride, right here. Canon, it would be far too cruel to force furniture to fight a witch. No matter how much anger spurs you on, you would have no hope in a battle without a chance of success. Of course, such a battle would be boring for me as well. So let it be furniture against furniture. Why not resolve it with a battle between you two? That should be enough to allow you some hope for victory, right? Forgive me, Beatrice, but how could I be inferior to this good-for-nothing furniture? As if this cutie would have any chance against me. Prove that you can defeat my furniture, the 7 stakes of purgatory. If you manage to win through, let us see. I will let you select the 5 who escape becoming one of the 15 sacrifices. I will welcome the 5 you recommend into the Golden Land without any conditions. How about that? Canon understood that he was being provoked. However, the witch's offer was very tempting. By this point, Canon couldn't care less about this evil ceremony the witch and the rest were trying to carry out. On the contrary, it was much more important that he remain alive so that he could be invited to the Golden Land and have his wish granted by Beatrice there. You cried, saying you'd had enough of being furniture, right? I shall grant your desire. I shall give you that human body you wanted so much. You cried yourself to sleep. What do you say? That way you and Jessica could be together, yes? Oh, just perfect. You may recommend that Jessica and yourself be invited to the Golden Land. If you alone finding happiness isn't a satisfying solution for you, then you can add in Shannon and George, the one she loves. If you're worried about duty, then you can also add Genji. Ha! That's 5 people. Isn't that enough, Canon? With this much of a reward? You won't let me get bored, will you? She's just playing with you. There's no need to listen to her. I don't like it. Are you okay with this, Shannon? Beatrice couldn't hide her evil smile at those words. I don't like it. I want to be happy. I've had enough of being furniture. I want to become human and have normal love. I want to know that the ocean is blue, like you. How young. I'm jealous. That's why I like the young ones. Genji, Shannon, stay back. Canon, Lucifer, forward. As you command. And another fight ensues. How lovely. I don't like it. That way you look down on me. As if Beatrice would be impossible. But with me you'd... Wait. As if Beatrice would be impossible. But with me you... At least you'd have a chance. I really don't like it. That was probably humiliating for Lucifer. But at the same time, she was also happy that she was lucky enough to have this adorable prey all to herself. Come, furniture of the witch. Don't think that you can look down on me forever. And then they fought. Oh, they also have swords? The stakes do? You gotta do it 3 times for that anime emphasis. Oh shit. Okay. This fight choreography with limited assets, right? So, Battler, isn't this a fun show? Damn it. Another weird thing's happening. Like I'd ever believe in a magic battle. Christ, what the fuck? This is really weird. Look, don't turn your eyes away. Look at it. Look. It's magic. It's furniture. No matter how much you try to deny me and magic. Look.
If you've got all this happening right in front of you, it'd be a waste to miss it, don't you think? Look, look, look. Just stop thinking. Magic exists. This is fantasy. Don't close your eyes. Look closely. Look, 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 look. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. I won't accept witches, I won't accept magic. But if it's being done right in the open like that, what am I supposed to say? Damn it. Come now, don't turn away. Look closely, okay? Motherfucker. Why are you so fucking terrifying, Beatrice? Magic exists. This is fantasy, so stop playing detective. I know your secret. You actually don't really like to think things through, right? Then just stop. Stop! Yeah. Look, look, it's gotta be fantasy, gotta be fantasy. Shut up, shut up, shut up! Don't talk to me. Oh. Okay, Cannon. This guy's getting stubborn. Won't you apologize and crawl on the ground right now for being so conceited that you thought you could beat me? If you did, I wouldn't mind forgiving you, okay? Then you wouldn't have to... Then you wouldn't have to have your skin ripped off while you're still alive. Or get lashed all over your body as you squirm until you die. You're a cutie, so apologize. If you do, I'll finish you off so gently, while it still feels great. Be silent, Furniture of the Witch. I have no intention of speaking with you. So you're saying you think nothing of me? That disrespectful gaze of yours is really ticking me off. This is really weird. Cannon. Jeez, can't he just let himself die? Isn't he stronger than he was against Satan? This is why humans are so frightening. In fact, sometimes they even become witches and treat demons as butlers. Poo-coo-coo. Wait, is she doing that? Poo-coo-coo-coo. So what should I cheer on? Oh, there goes Cannon. Guarantee that. Are you saying this guy's on par with me? Oh, he's fine. Don't look down on me. As long as you have that pride, you'll never defeat me. You speak of Lucifer, the eldest of the 7 sisters of purgatory, and say that I cannot win? How conceited. This is just... What the fuck, really? What? All these fucking sound effects. What? Cannon was desperately trying to stay alive, and he had a strong desire to become human. But Lucifer didn't feel anything stronger than a slight desire to play. So that led to an inevitable result. It was a result that could be reached by the power of humans. The power of the heart. That's as far as you go. You cannot win against me. The glowing red curve extended straight out from Cannon's arm, pointing at Lucifer's throat just beneath the tip of her chin. What is this? How could I... There must be some mistake. As she ground her teeth in irritation, she tried to deny the truth right before her eyes. But no matter how much she believed in her own superiority, it didn't change the facts right in front of her. Oh, well done, Cannon. Wonderful, you haven't bored me. How pitiful my furniture is compared to that. Lucifer, you are boring, milady. Was this opponent really too much for you to handle? I'm disappointed, eldest of the 7 stakes. It would have seemed like mere rebuke to an outsider. However, Furniture serving the witch knew what kind of severe treatment was promised by that rebuke, and understood what had been left unsaid. What? You good-for-nothing Furniture? She howled. Abandoning her last bit of pride, she made her body explode, exposing her true form. That form was a demon stake, which bounced off the wall surrounding the room. How could you shame me so much? Kill, 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 you blockhead! Blockhead! Even though you can't even follow my movements anymore, I won't play around anymore. I'm seriously mad. I'll pierce your heart in one blow. I'll plow right through you, make a fountain of bright red blood reach the ceiling. Die! Cannon! Yep, that would happen. And there goes Cannon.
After flying about wildly for some time, with a speed approaching the limits of what a human eye could follow, Lucifer flew at Canon's heart. She could tell that it was Canon's blood by the sweet taste of it, but she quickly noticed one thing. She hadn't pierced his heart. Oh, yeah. This is why humans are frightening. Would you like some black tea? I am fine for now. This is so amusing, I don't even need any. Canon. She probably just got his arm. Or something like that. You were arrogant again. I told you that you wouldn't be able to defeat me. The floor was stained with dripping blood. It really was Canon's blood, but it wasn't flowing out of his chest. Canon had sacrificed his own left hand to protect his heart. Oh, his hand. Ah, that's gotta hurt even more. Lucifer was arrogant. Even though she'd been given enough time to realize that this was an opponent capable of cornering her, in her pride she had believed him to be worthless. She had gotten careless. So just as she had announced, she had aimed for his chest, trying to pierce his heart. Oh, okay, so he basically was just like, okay, defend my heart, blam. Because she was arrogant, she hadn't even thought of aiming for somewhere other than the place she had announced. No, maybe she had thought about it a little. However, her pride would not allow her to aim for a different spot. After all, she was Lucifer of pride. Canon, withstanding the pain, grasped the demon stake, sticking deep into his left hand strongly with his right hand and pulled it out. When she heard the sound of breaking bones and even more blood dripping down, Shannon looked away reflexively. There was an air hole in the back of the pierced hand so big he could clearly see through to the other side. Ugh. Canon's face was filled with pain, but right now he had won, without a doubt. Oh boy. The demon stake he was gripping with his right hand turned back into Lucifer again, so that Canon was now gripping exactly where her neck was. Yeah. It's my victory, Beatrice. Ken didn't hold back at all with the hand gripping Lucifer's throat. She had challenged him again after their fight had already been decided. Canon had no obligation to be considerate. But even so, Canon released the witch's furniture. Was it his naive humanism, his pity for another furniture, or a final bit of respect to the witch? In any case, when she was released, Lucifer fell face down on the ground, retching and moaning over the pain in her throat. Spectacular, Canon. Your great efforts have proven the correctness of some of Kinzo's research. Ronove was clapping his hands. To Canon, who had won at great cost and had a wound on his left hand that wouldn't close, Ronove... What? Ronove, a pause, only felt like mockery. So I'm assuming that's supposed to say Ronove's applause. All possibilities dwell within the human heart, was it? My, this is why humans are frightening. Well done, Canon. You were victorious. Spectacular. Are you okay, Canon? Shannon ran up to him and wrapped a handkerchief around his left hand, which was still spraying blood. That was incredible, Canon. Truly incredible. Even though I was hoping at least a little for an upset, that you didn't let me down. Wait, that you didn't let me down makes you truly splendid furniture. I think better of you now. I honestly think better of you. You haven't forgotten our promise, right, Beatrice? Indeed. Of course I haven't forgotten. Witches and demons may be inhumane, however, we are much more noble than humans when it comes to keeping promises. I will not go back on my word. I guaranteed that if you won, I would give you the right to decide the 5 people who will escape becoming the 13 sacrifices. But Beatrice, it's not like I've Oh fuck. Higi. When Beatrice waved her pipe, heaven and earth turned over just for Lucifer. So as a horribly natural result, she fell onto the ceiling. The ceiling doesn't seem... the ceiling doesn't seem that high to people standing on the floor. However, people who fall on it upside down and head first usually don't agree. Milady, isn't that a little much? Perhaps you are right. I suppose I'll forgive her. Beatrice waved her pipe again. When she did, the magic that had been affecting Lucifer was released. So as a horribly natural result, this time she fell properly back onto the floor. What is with this game? Such a weird way of presenting things to us. Alright, now show me some text, please. Because right now it's just a... Okay, there we go.
Beatrice, forgive me.
What are you so afraid of? Don't tell me you're giving up already. I have already forgiven you, haven't I? So, Canon, shall we continue?
Continue what? You aren't saying you want me to finish her, are you?
Ah, no. It isn't over yet, right? She did say, beat the stakes of purgatory, not just beat Lucifer, right?
What isn't? Stop dodging the question.
I did promise to you your reward, didn't I? If you could defeat my furniture, the 7 stakes of purgatory, right? I knew it would come to this. Come, arise the 7 stakes of purgatory, the 6 younger sisters of the worthless elder sister. Fuck it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, just trying to nitpick. Ya ha 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 ha. Christ. The air split with shrill laughter, and as a golden splash scattered about, the 6 remaining Sisters of Purgatory showed themselves. All the 7 Sisters of Purgatory were here, after Canon was able to defeat one only by sacrificing his left arm. By now, Canon regretted his thoughtlessness in accepting the witch's challenge. He had been foolish to assume that a game against a witch would be on an even footing.
Lame. Sister, why are you crawling on the floor? You people. I told you, Sister's useless. Even though she acts like she's so great just because she's the oldest, that's only on the outside. Yeah, seriously. Lucifer, your disgraceful behavior will damage the reputation of us all. Know your shame, you novice. Canon, that was totally awesome. But don't get cocky, okay? Lucifer brags all the time, but she's no big deal compared to the rest of us sisters. That's why I'm always saying Lucifer shouldn't do anything. Just let her keep bragging all the time. After all, those of us with talent can handle all the tough jobs. What are you gonna do, sister? Out of respect for your pride, we were planning to stay out of your way, in the hopes that you challenge him again in that beat-up body of yours. But Canon sure is strong, right? Right now, no matter how much you struggle, there's no way you can win, right? You people. My, you sisters are always so lively. Is this any time to fight amongst yourselves? It's only together that you're the 7 stakes of purgatory, correct? Now play nice and execute the tasks I give you, and swiftly, okay? Hey Lucifer, if you want to borrow the power of your little sisters, then say it, okay? We want to hear you ask us for help with your own mouth. Do you plan to mock me even more? I, the foolish, weak, ugly, and shameful Lucifer, the eldest sister, begged my younger sisters to save me. Come on, let's hear it. If you let us hear that, we'll save you. Okay? Everyone? You... bitch. The 7 sisters of Purgatory unanimously closed in on their worthless sister, abusing her. Even Canon, who had been fighting for his life until a second ago, couldn't bear to look at it. As if I could say something like that. Quickly now, clearly we won't make any progress here with you alone. Hurry up, let the 7 sisters strike Canon. My, what is the matter, Lucifer? This is an order from Milady, is it not? How cruel. After grinding her teeth over and over after hearing her sister's curses, Lucifer trembled all over and answered her sister's request. I, the foolish, weak, ugly, and shameful, Lucifer, the eldest sister, beg... Of course she's fucking crying. The girl known as Pride was finally unable to endure the words she was saying, and broke down crying. However, the 6 younger sisters kept giggling cold-heartedly. Seriously, what the fuck? Wait a sec. Don't try to trick us by crying. You haven't finished saying it. That should be enough. Come, sisters, let us display our power. I won't be satisfied till I hear the whole thing, okay? Come on, sister, keep going.
Another chanting song. Okay.
That's enough. Come on, this shame affects us all. We won't let them leave here alive. Okay, how should we play with this pitiful furniture? Any wonderful plans? Yes. Belza thinks the 7 of us should get along and split cannon up between us. Good idea. That way all of the sisters can get along. Then I'll take the head. I'll leave the limbs and guts to you all. No. I get the head. There's no way that promise will mean anything, right? First one there wins. Cannon, if you got any ideas for how we should kill you, just tell us, okay? The 7 sisters will kill you in an awesome way. Damn. You've shamed me so deeply. Slicing you into 8 pieces won't be enough. I'll slice you into 100 pieces. Here we go, everyone.
Fuck. Yes, sister. I'm not gonna do 6 voices at once, because that's humanly impossible. The 7 of them burst at once. They had no intention of playing or boasting. This time, they would genuinely follow their master's order. Take Cannon down. Swiftly. Of course they did. The 7 sisters jumped around the room faster than the eye could see, examining how they could best kill Cannon. They tortured Cannon with their cruel giggles, sometimes making a close pass at him. And there he goes. They kept scraping his arms, shoulders, and cheeks, gradually carving red letters into his body. At that moment, Shannon dashed up behind him, holding on to him so that she blocked the way to his body at least a little. Yep, that thing. At the same time, a red cylinder wrapped around the 2 of them, like a beam of light sent from heaven. That cylinder repelled the evil ones who tormented Cannon.
What? You're mean. This has nothing to do with you. I see. You must want to play with us. Then I'll take it. All mine. Beatrice, can we take Shannon as our prey? I don't mind. Do as you like. It seems Cannon alone won't be enough to satisfy your gluttony. You have our deepest gratitude. Come on, I'll make you regret coming out uninvited.
Oh shit. They're pissed.
I'll turn you into scraps of meat so unrecognizable you won't be able to tell which is which. Mix you and mix you and mince you into hamburgers.
Never refer to people as hamburgers ever again, Beelzebub, please.
Idiot, breaking that barrier should come first, right? Don't let your gluttony get in the way of your job. Yes, sister.
As a horribly natural first action, the 7 sisters began to destroy the barrier Shannon had created. Shannon's barrier certainly was strong. It was powerful enough to impress even Beatrice. With its strength, frail furniture would turn to dust just by touching it, and it was firm like a tree with deep roots. But no matter how big a tree gets, it will eventually surrender to a saw or a hatchet. For the 7 sisters, chopping down Shannon's barrier would be annoying but not impossible. Yep, this same effect. A sound like beetles jumping about grew even fiercer and filled the room. The red barrier began to be cut up and eroded away as though with an hatchet, a saw, no, a chainsaw by now. Yeah, they're fucking toast. How foolish. Even though you must know that your barrier can't fully protect you from these girls. Why?
Because I couldn't overlook it.
As Shannon covered Cannon, who was already at his limit, sprawled on the floor, she spoke back resolutely.
If you hadn't barged in uninvited, I would have given you a death-like sleep. Why have you gone to all the trouble of exposing yourself before the 7 sisters? Not all deaths are the same. A cruel death will cause you far more anguish than merely dying. Go ahead, do as you like. Just as you always do what you want. I did what I wanted. At any rate, you're not quite amusing at the present moment. Romance is most interesting when you're wondering whether it will succeed or not. Once it does succeed, a woman is like salmon who has finished laying its eggs. I have already tired of you. Thank you. No words from a witch would make me happier.
Then at least in the end, let me see you die in a truly entertaining manner. Seven Sisters, can you hear me? Kill Shannon in a way that shows me the limits of your brutality.
Brutality.
Shannon. My apologies. In the end, I wasn't able to reach your level, Genji. You're an idiot, sister. If you just let me be, then you might not have had to meet a horrible end. No, it's fine. I received a ring from George and lived as a woman. I protected you and lived as a sister. With this, my life is complete with no regrets. Yeah, you're pissing me off. That philosophical take really is irritating. Like I said, you're furniture. You don't even smell like a human. Look at me. I am a human. Oh. I guess you're not a witch then, Beatrice. Don't spout off philosophical crap. Like you're more complete than I am, you furniture. How ugly. Are those regrets what you truly are? They aren't regrets. They aren't a regret. This is called living. What's this about not minding if you die just because you were given a ring? I can't understand it. It's incomprehensible, disappointing, outrageous, stunning, and it's all useless. That's my line. Milady, perhaps you're acting a tad undignified. Shut up, furniture. Shannon, do you think I'll let you die so easily? Now's the time to bite your tongue. How pitiful. If you can see yourself reflected in my eyes, then shudder at your own ugliness. She really hates Shannon, doesn't she? Fear not. Once I've crushed you up, you'll be much more ugly even while you still live. At that time, Genji softly entered the red barrier. Perhaps that barrier didn't block those without ill intent. Then Genji gently held her from behind and covered her eyes with his right hand. Genji, you've already done enough. Go to sleep before me. Yes, thank you very much, Genji. Indeed. After that, Genji softly pressed his left hand near her collarbone. As he did, emanating from that area, a crimson stain gently spread out. What? Did he just kill her? Then? When Genji removed his hand, bright red, fresh blood oozed out of there. It only happened for the first instant, and it was shaped like a crimson rose. So Genji killed Shannon, then? This is weird. And when he removed his right hand covering her face, there was a peaceful expression there, as though she was sleeping. Then she fell softly, silently, and slept. Her soul had already been sent to a world where the malicious witch and her furniture could not reach her, no matter how evilly they tortured her. This scene left Beatrice and the Seven Sisters stunned. Only Ronove wore a mysterious smile. Then Genji leaned over Kanon, who was crouching on the floor. You did well. You should sleep now too. Yes. Thank you very much, Genji. Just as he had done with Shannon, he softly covered Kanon's eyes with his hand, then gently pressed the area around Kanon's collarbone with his other hand, and when his hand was removed with the lightness of a feather, there was a crimson rose there. And then the same thing happened to Kanon. But that rose shape quickly turned into the stain of bright red blood pouring out. What is that? What a boring person. Even though it's so fun to poke the balloon of life with a needle so that it forcefully explodes. It's more like he just untied the balloon. Spectacular, Genji. You truly are furniture. Thank you very much. Well then, Beatrice, Ronove, but this is my final task. Allow me to rest. Damn you, snatching away my fun? Why don't I take all the thrashing and mashing I wanted to do to them and give it to you instead? Beatrice faced him with an unsatisfied expression, but Ronove spoke quietly to Genji with a soothing smile. You have worked hard. You are my greatest servant. As a final gift, I shall bestow upon you a peaceful sleep, fitting for all the labors you have performed. What? Wait, it's not your place to... When Ronove snapped his fingers, Genji slumped to the floor like a puppet with his strings cut. Suddenly, and yet gently. He crumpled, falling into a sleep that no witch could call him back from. Huh.
It was as filled with kindness as the sleep he had given Shannon and Cannon. What was that, Ronave? What a boring anticlimax. Are you not a mighty great witch, milady? What happened here is hardly worthy of your concern. It isn't like you to let the provocation of someone like Shannon get to you. What was it that had Beatrice so irritated? Was she still unable to remove the thorn of Shannon's words? Ronave laughed lightly, as though lamenting the complexity of humanity in a woman's heart, and ordered the 7 sisters to go. After all, there were still 2 sacrifices left for the first twilight. The 7 sisters disappeared in ecstasy. Okay. That was really weird. All that happened in a couple minutes. It's 12:26. I think that's what the clock reads. Whatever. Oh, and it's gonna go through 1.5 million backgrounds again, like it always does in between every single transition. Hi, Goda, whatever. Alright, that's gonna be it for this episode. If you liked it, be sure to press the like button, and if you didn't like it, fuck you too. Remember to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all my videos and stuff. And as always, my name is Godzi, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye!